Anxious thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky of your mind. You can observe them without being swept away by the storm they seem to promise. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about quieting the storm and quick techniques to calm anxious thoughts. Enjoy. There's a moment when anxious thoughts begin to spiral that feels like standing at the edge of a storm. Your mind races, your heart quickens, and suddenly the world feels overwhelming and uncertain. But here's what I want you to know. You have more power in that moment than you realize. You have tools, techniques, and an inner wisdom that can guide you back to calm, even when the storm feels fierce. By the end of this episode, you'll have practical, immediate techniques to interrupt anxious thought patterns and restore your sense of peace. And you'll understand how to create space between yourself and your worries so they no longer control your experience. Anxiety often feels like it comes out of nowhere, but it usually begins with a single thought that triggers a cascade of worry. Maybe it's a what-if that spirals into worst-case scenarios, or a memory that suddenly makes the present moment feel dangerous. The key to calming anxious thoughts quickly isn't to fight them or push them away, but to change your relationship with them. One of the most powerful techniques you can use is what I call the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method. When anxiety begins to take hold, name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple practice pulls your attention out of the anxious story in your mind and anchors it in the present moment, where you are actually safe. Another immediate technique is to slow down your exhale. When we're anxious, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which actually signals to our nervous system that we're in danger. By consciously making your exhale longer than your inhale, you activate your body's natural relaxation response. Try breathing in for 3 counts, then breathing out for 6. This isn't just a distraction, it's a direct communication to your nervous system that you are safe. There's also profound power in questioning your anxious thoughts rather than accepting them as truth. When your mind says, "Something terrible is going to happen," you can gently ask, "Is this thought helpful right now? Is this worry about something happening now, or something that might happen?" Often, anxiety is our mind trying to solve problems that don't exist yet, or may never exist at all. Consider the practice of creating mental distance from your thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I'm so anxious," try thinking, "I'm having anxious thoughts right now." This subtle shift reminds you that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, and observers have choice about what they pay attention to. Another quick technique is the worry window approach. When anxious thoughts arise, tell them, "I hear you, and I'll give you my full attention at 3 p.m. today." Then, when 3 p.m. comes, you can choose whether those worries still need your attention or if they've resolved themselves. Often, you'll find that the urgent anxiety of the morning has dissolved by afternoon. Physical movement can also interrupt anxious thought patterns quickly. When you're caught in mental loops, your body is often tense and still. A few jumping jacks, a quick walk around the block, or even just shaking your hands and feet can break the physical pattern that's supporting the mental pattern. There's wisdom in remembering that feelings, even intense ones, are temporary. Anxiety feels permanent when you're in it, but it's actually like weather passing through. You can acknowledge it without being consumed by it. You can say, "This is anxiety, and it will pass, just like it always has before." The practice of self-compassion is also crucial when dealing with anxious thoughts. Instead of judging yourself for feeling anxious, try speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a good friend who was struggling. Anxiety is not a character flaw. It's often a sign that you care deeply about something or someone. Remember that you don't have to solve every problem your anxious mind presents to you right now. Most worries are about future events that may never happen, and even if they do, you'll handle them when they actually occur. Your job in this moment is simply to return to calm, to return to the present, to return to the truth that right now, in this moment, you are okay. As you move through your day, carry with you the knowledge that anxious thoughts are visitors, not permanent residents. They come and go, and you have the power to influence how long they stay and how much attention they receive. You are stronger than your anxiety, wiser than your worries, and more resilient than you know. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening. If today's episode resonated with you, I've created something to help you take the next small step. I've put together a series of better habit guides designed for people who feel behind in life and want a simple, practical reset without overwhelm. You can explore all of them at 7goodminutes.com/guides. That's 7goodminutes.com/guides.